I used to be the queenest of procrastination queens. Believe me when I say that, and for such a long time, that I can still feel how frustrating that was in my body. But today, I can proudly say, and I can't believe I'm saying that I'm not a procrastinator anymore. Yes, I do delay sometimes, but it's not coming from a place of avoiding it, but rather scheduling it for later. How did I do that? How can you get there too? This episode is all about this, so follow along. And welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the space where me and you get to have a couch conversation to help you reach your full potential. If you're new here, my name is Saab. I'm a high-performance coach working with executives, entrepreneurs, professional athletes, and artists all around the world. I'm also an international speaker, trainer, and founder and CEO for Home of Greatness, a global community and tech platform for people who are serious about becoming their best selves. In today's episode, we will strip down procrastination. What is it? Where does it come from? And how can you overcome it? Before we start, if you haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more episodes on topics like that. And a lot of behind the scenes are coming up on how we run our businesses as we travel the world. I really want to share that part of my life with you. So first, pen and paper, and let's start. In order to understand something, we need to know where it comes from. So that means you know it, the science, baby. When we procrastinate, it is easy to directly blame ourselves and our time management skills, thinking that the problem is more on a technical level, when it is actually more on an emotional management level than it is on a time management level. According to science, a lot of procrastination is driven by fear. The fear of failure, the fear of not being good enough or perfect, or even the fear of responsibility of the task's success. Does that mean that you have to spend months and even years overcoming your fears in order to overcome procrastination? Absolutely not. Because overcoming procrastination is a skill that you can develop and that you train your brain on. Let's talk about the brain for a second. If we want to work on a task, and this task to us, number one, is not clear, and two, is very difficult in our minds. So when we think about it, we think this is a very difficult task, or it's a big task, or whatever it is. What's happening here is that this task is giving us a feeling of pressure or of stress. And this discomfort that this task puts us in, our brain perceives as danger. And our brain's primary role is to keep us safe and alive. So if anything makes us feel some form of discomfort, it sees it as a threat to our safety. And so instead of taking us towards this task, it takes us away from it. So of course, we will tend to procrastinate on that. Our brain will start giving us all the excuses in the world on why I shouldn't be doing this. You know, don't go to the gym today. It's okay. Maybe you could go tomorrow, or just delay it to the afternoon. You have to work, or you've been tired these days. Or you know what? This paper that I need to write, I'll just delay it just 5 to 10 minutes. Just continue the scroll. Why? Because what it's looking for is instant gratification away from this discomfort, instead of looking at the long-term gratification when I actually finish this task and feel better about myself and produce a better result. My brain does not know that. I need to train my brain on it. But how do I overcome then procrastination? Phase 1 is proper planning. Step 1 in that is to gain clarity on the task at hand. What is it that I'm working on? And is it important to me? Why is that important to me? So when I don't have clarity on what is the task and what are the demands of that task and how does it really look like, my brain will magnify it and it will overestimate how much time, how much effort it's going to take, because it thinks that it's protecting me from that danger. So number 1 is gaining clarity on the task and on the steps. Number 2, as I said, gaining clarity on the steps. What does it take to get it done? So right now what I need to do is I need to reverse engineer. What does that mean? I need to work backwards. So I want to finish, let's say, a research paper. What does it take for me to finish that research paper? I want to write down every single step to the detail. That means I need to write the outline. I need to then know what I'm going to be talking about in the introduction, in the body, in the conclusion. And then I break down the body. How many paragraphs do I want to write? How many research papers do I want to include? What kind of topics do I want to be talking about? Where can I get the statistics or the research studies or the facts that I will include in that research paper? I want to really break it down into steps. What is the first thing I need to do? What is the second? What is the third? What is the fourth? And then after I do that, I need to put the estimated time of every single one of these steps. How much time will it take me to write the outline? How much time will it take me to develop the body and get the research? Just to get the research. How much time will it take me to connect the research together? How much time will it take me to write the introduction? How much time will it take me to, write the body in a coherent form? How much time will it take me to write the conclusion? And then how much time will it take me to proofread, to edit, anything? Write those down, because what you're doing right now is you're giving your brain even more clarity. And the more clarity it has, the less unknown it is, the less of a danger it is, the more my brain is going to help me to actually go and do that action. And if I know where my first step is, then all I have to think about and carry in that moment is that first step. Instead of me carrying the entire research paper every single day and every single time, all I'm thinking about and all I'm carrying is just writing the outline. Can you see how less pressuring that is? And if I tell myself, just write the outline, oh, that's easy. Of course I'm going to do it. And so that's going to make me more motivated and inclined to actually do that step. And once I finish doing that step, then I think about the next one. After I see how much time each one takes me, I also need to refer back to my schedule and my calendar. So if this takes me 30 minutes, do I have 30 minutes to put in today? And where am I going to put it? Is it in a deep focus zone where I'm really focused and creative? Is it in the place where I have lower energy because it doesn't really require that much focus? Is it in between meetings? Or no, this is not the kind of task that I put in between meetings. Is it by the end of the day? So I really need to know my schedule, and I really need to know where my energy levels are at. That's a whole other topic and whole other video. I work a lot on this with the leaders that I work with. This is called energy management. So you really need to know how to manage your energy and how does it work. After I look at my schedule and my time, and then I block in these times within my calendar, these are already scheduled. I already made space for them within my time. So just like I have a meeting, I also have a meeting with myself to complete this task. So then also this increases the probability of me actually doing this task. Now, the first phase was the proper planning. So we planned properly. Now it's time for me to actually take action, which is phase 2, taking action. And the number one step to take action is probably not what you expect, but it is regulating our emotions. Because as I said, procrastination is not a time management problem, but rather an emotional management one. When you feel the pressure and the negative emotions as you're procrastinating, what I want you to do is take some time to regulate your emotions before you go and try to deal with the task at hand. How does that look like? It could look like a walk outside, listening to a song that you like, doing a workout, visualizing, whatever helps you to refresh your mind and put yourself in a higher state. And if you don't know what these things are, then that's probably a great place to start from. Identify what pumps you up. And after elevating your state, then you get to work. Sometimes disconnection is the perfect solution to get yourself going instead of self-blaming yourself through that process. So just take that time away in order to keep going further. Another way to help yourself take action is to simply use the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins. So what that rule says is you need to give yourself 5 seconds to get up from wherever you are and go actually take that action. Why? How does she explain it? Because it takes our brain 5 seconds to start giving us excuses on why we shouldn't go and do that. That means if I'm sitting in bed and I need to go to work out in the morning, I just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of bed. Go work out, start putting your gym clothes on. And another thing, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I need to get out and I need to start working on the task. Why? Because when I'm counting, I'm bringing myself back to the present moment and I'm distracting my brain from giving me these excuses. So this is one of the ways. If it works for you, try it and do it. Another concept that I love so much and I apply myself is by telling myself that I will just start by creating the shitty first draft first. This concept is created by Brené Brown, and it helps us feel less pressure when we think about a task because it takes us away from aiming for perfection and walks us towards giving ourselves the permission to mess up. Creating the shitty first drafts means that I start with whatever, however, just to put it together. And whatever comes to my mind, I write down and then I refine. This helps us to at least start and overcome this freeze state that perfectionism can put us in. This is something that I dealt with a lot. And this reminds me of a concept called the Zeigarnik effect, which goes back to the 1920s. It talks about the mental stress that our brains go through when we don't finish a task. This stress or tension means that when we start a task, we are much more inclined to finish it than if we hadn't started in the first place. So when we aim to start with a shitty first draft, with less pressure to be perfect, we are also increasing our chances to actually finish that task rather than delaying it for days and sometimes, it's months. But the most important part to help ourselves to take action lies in our self-belief. If you don't believe we can finish a task, if we believe we are procrastinators or that we will not succeed at whatever we are working on, we are wiring ourselves to not take action. You know that this is all I'm about, identity work. You can watch my previous episodes about that topic if you want to go deeper. As long as our identity is wired against us taking action, you will simply not, because your actions, behaviors, and decisions will always follow your subconscious wiring. In order to start creating this identity shift in a simplified way, and I say simplified because the inner work is more complex than these steps and really requires in-depth processes and processing. Some ways we could do that is number one, to identify our limiting beliefs. What are the recurrent thoughts or identities that you tell yourself about yourself? What would you like to believe about yourself otherwise? How can you actually start putting that in action today so that you gain proof that you actually are that? What does that mean? I talked a lot about this in my confidence episode. Our brain needs proof on a belief that we are trying to wire because it's so good at gathering justification on a certain belief. So if I tell myself I'm a procrastinator, it has been gathering proof on that for the past years probably. So it will tell you like that how many times you have procrastinated. That if you tell yourself, I'm not a procrastinator, I'm actually a proactive action taker, it's gonna be like, that's not because you haven't been proactive in your life. It's because you haven't been focusing on being this proactive person or on that identity that your brain has been so busy collecting proof on the other identity, it did not collect proof on this one. So when you start actually putting action and you end the day by going back and asking yourself, where was I proactive today? What did I actually act on today? What you're doing is that you're starting to collect proof about you being a proactive doer. And then now your brain is going to start to identify itself with this thing, and it's going to be more inclined to take you towards what you believe to be true. And when you gather all of these proofs, when you know what kind of person you want to be or what kind of beliefs you want to have, and when you also identify the limiting beliefs, what you can do is that create an image. You can write a script it down as a proactive action taker. Who am I? How do I walk? How do I talk? How do I start my day? How do I work? How does it feel like? That's the most important part. How does it feel like for me to be that? Script it out into a vision that really feels so true, and then visualize that. And by visualizing yourself doing this action, being this person, and the most important part, feeling what it's like to be that person every day, what you're doing is that you're creating new neural pathways in your mind on how it's like to be that person, and it's going to start to rewire itself onto this new identity. So visualize yourself being that person, doing this kind of action that way every day, and then watch yourself subconsciously, without much effort, to start to act from that place. So we talked about procrastination. Number one, phase one is to plan properly to decrease the uncertainty, the unknown, and increase clarity. Number two, phase two was to take action by learning how to manage your emotion and manage your time and get yourself to take action faster. And once you really do that, I'm not going to overwhelm you with a lot of information because that's going to create a big pressure. Then that's going to take you away from actually acting on it. I don't want to do that. I want to help you to really understand your brain. So once you just do these two, I want you to get back to me. But I'm so sure that if you take the time to apply these two phases, the amount of procrastination you're going to have is going to be significantly lower. Mark my words. Come back and let me know. So that's what I really have to say about procrastination, that it is not really an identity thing. Procrastination is something that it's a coping mechanism for your brain away from danger to help you take you to the momentary comfort and the instant gratification. And when we have the tools and when we build the skills, then we can really overcome it. I hope that this episode helped you. If it did, share it with someone that you know is going through this. And if you like this kind of content and this kind of videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I love having you here. If you have a question, this is a couch conversation. So it's not a one-sided conversation. Open up the conversation in the comments below. If you want to add something, if you want to share something, share an insight, a part that impacted you, or if you have a question for me that you want me to answer, please comment down below. I answer and I read all of your comments. Thank you for joining. I can't wait to see you in the next episode. Love you so much.